Hi, I'm Dave Cutlerson. I'm a director at AssetGen, and I'm going to take you through the second of our Visio Utilities modules called DC Floor Tiles. And this is a utility for creating grids of shapes such as floor tiles, ports with patch panels and devices. You can also use this to label everything with numbers and letters to represent referencing. And it will also allow you to add common text to lots of shapes that are very similar, maybe like floor boxes, where you have large numbers and you just want the same text, but you want to apply this after you've actually created the shapes. So let's go through it. We're going to create a floor tile grid of 30 by 20 floor tiles. A good technique is to add an extra 2 to each, and you'll see the reasons why. To actually create the grid, we'll take an existing square. In this case, I've just got a square called floor tile, and I go to the AssetGen Utilities and I do create grid from shape. This then allows us to resize the selected shape if need be, so it gives us a bit of feedback on what the actual size is. We add the numbers of columns, and I said if we're going to do 30, make it 32, and rows, if it's going to be 20, make it 22. And let's start on the bottom left hand side, so we create the grid growing out from the bottom left. Having created our grid, we'll then just position it to be on the page. A little bit easier to work with. Now, next, a good technique is take out the corner squares. You see here. And what we'll do is we'll take all of this and we'll grey everything so that the tiles don't appear as black. So then we can then use them as a background. If I now click off, you'll now see we have the grid looking like that, which will shine through onto a foreground page to then draw cabinets, which we show in our module 1. I'm going to select the first row of tiles here. I'm going to go to label shapes, and I'm going to auto letter these with the typical reference used in data centers, the TIA 942 convention, and apply. And so there we have AA through to BD. And I'm going to do the same for the bottom as well to make it a little bit easier to read. Auto letter. Saves a lot of typing this, A to BD. I'm then going to do the same with the verticals, but I'm now going to label these 1 to whatever. So start with 1, go top to bottom, auto number, apply. We'll do the same with these. Label shapes, top to bottom. Obviously you may have to do it bottom to top depending on orientation. And to make it a little bit easier to read, let's just take the center, deselect the endpoints, and also put the numbers there as well. Top to bottom, apply. And the reason why I created these extra rows, it means I can now take that row, and that one, and that one, and that one very quickly and very simply, and just hide the lines so we have no lines going around the boxes. And if I now click off, we can now then focus and concentrate on our floor plan in there. We might want to create a shell so we can see where the doors and windows are, so I'm just going to drag across the standard Visio room shape and draw that. I have to do some more detailed positioning just to get it to fit. There, look. And also we'll take in the double door. So we can then see where the doors are. The final thing to do is to add any perforated tiles that we may have, and typically within the data centers with the various rows and racks and things we have, we want to, as a reference, use any of the ventilated tiles. So I'll just click and select a number of those tiles to represent where we're going to have perforated tiles. As you can see as we're going across here. And then I can just fill those with a pattern. Colour them grey so they stand out a little bit, and carry on as such. And there we have how we can do a floor plan, and of course you can individually do any perforated tiles. So this is one key application of using our DC floor tiles module. Another application of our module is for doing things like patch panels and switch ports, where we yet again have a regular setup, but we may need to have large numbers of these. So we can apply the same principle by taking and dragging across and dropping on a representative RJ45 socket, and then creating a grid of this to represent connectivity. So I'm going to my AssetGen Utilities, yet again create a grid from shape. I'll leave the sizing as it is. I'll put in some spacing here. I'll do 0.2 and 0.1, and I'm going to create 24 ports by 2 columns to, say, for instance, do a 48-way patch panel or 48-way switch. Do apply, and that's now created a grid of those, and we can use the same naming convention. So for instance, we can start with all the ports, and if I do left to right, this will apply a switch type convention. So it will start at the first column and then just number them all, as you can see there. So it's 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Alternatively, I can then say no, we have a row on the top. If I do apply, so it's going to label it 1 to 24, then 25 to 48. And of course this is very useful in floor boxes and patch panels. If you're using this for patch panels for floor outlets, we can prefix with some text. So we could say 1/ prefix that, and so that would then label all the ports on the floor boxes. If I now do an apply, we might want to change the font and make that a little bit smaller. And there we can now easily apply and then show all the different floors that all the different floor boxes go. So the utilities for doing the floor tiles can also be used for anything where there's a regular grid of shapes. We could take servers and also add names as well. To explore more about the use of Visio, we offer online and on-premise training through our sister company Square Mile Systems, where we have a focus on IT systems and infrastructure diagramming. So it's not, you could say, basic Visio training, it's more for the IT specialists. And to move on to full Visio automation, where diagrams are drawn for you on a large scale and maintained and updated, have a look at our AssetGen system, where we can cover the various technologies all the way from the physical to the logical infrastructure.